Guys, are you able to see something?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Ready for the concentration? Have your pen and notebook in your hand and come on. I want you all to speak like this and understand the language that we are going to listen, right? Okay. Now look at the questions that we are going to look for today. Those are short answer questions. And when they are short answer question types, you have to be really very careful about what? The number of words that you have to write in the answer, whether it is a single word or two words. Please put your microphone off. Whether it is a single word or two words or three words, not more than that. Okay, you have to be really very careful. And yesterday, one guy has asked me this doubt. Look at the screen. The second point, which has been there. You can use contrasted words, will not be tested. Okay. And hyphenated words are counted as single words. I don't know, I don't remember the name. This is the answer for that yesterday's question. Akhil or somebody has asked me this doubt. Yesterday's new boy, Akash. Okay. So this is the answer. If Akash comes, please remind me. We'll again address his doubt. And hope you all have understood, my dear friends. If we have contrasted words, do not will not be two words, so don't will be a single word. And even hyphenated words like policeman, letterbox, okay. You put a hyphen, even though they're two words, they're considered to be a single word because they're only separated by hyphen. It's a single expression, okay? So please do remember. Next one, you're tested for the short answer questions. You will be tested your ability on understand the concrete facts. Okay, listening for the concrete facts in the sense, what are the strong points in which the whole listening process is going on. Okay, so not the base point. I would rather say, what is the strong point which has been continuing? You would understand when you listen to this listening conversation right now, such as places, prices, or times. So when you're talking about a place, again in the place, you'll have different sub-places and everything. So main place to the different versions of, places, prices, and times, you really have to carry forward what is a unique concept going on. So that concentration level will be tested in this, okay? So concentration will be tested in, in the previous type of questions we were discussing about, some questions will discuss about detailing and some questions will discuss about facts, some questions will discuss about basic information. And if you look at this question, it it tests your ability about the concrete facts, the strong knowledge grasp. Okay, now let us be ready. Have a pen notebook with you, right? Look at the question. Right. Answer the questions below. Write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. This is already a technical jargon which is going on, compulsory option going on, and or a number. If you write a number or don't write a number, no problem. Now, what 2 factors can make social contact in a foreign country? You can underline the keywords if you have a paper. Now you cannot. Which types of community groups does the speaker give the examples of? The option theater. I said, give importance to also the words which are given. Okay, they are like helpers, right? In which 2 places can the information about community activities be found? Fine, we took lot of time now. Get ready. Put the numbers
You'll
first.
hear an extract from a talk given to a group who are going to stay in the UK.
Good evening and welcome to the British Council. My name is John Parker and I've been asked to talk to you briefly about certain aspects of life in the UK before you actually go there. So I'm going to talk first about the best ways of making social contacts there. Now, you might be wondering why it should be necessary. After all, we meet people all the time. But when you're living in a foreign country, it can be more difficult, not just because of the language, but because customs may be different. If you're going to work in the UK, you will probably be living in private accommodation, so it won't be quite so easy to meet people. But there are still things that you can do to help yourself. First of all, you can get involved in activities in your local community. Join a group of some kind. For example, you'll probably find that there are theatre groups who might be looking for actors, set designers and so on. Or if you play an instrument, you could join music groups in your area. Or if you like the idea of finding out about local history, there'll be a group for that too. These are just examples. And the best place to get information about things like this are either the town hall or the public library. Libraries in the UK perform quite a broad range of functions nowadays. They're not just confined to lending books, although that's their main role, of course.
Ready? Fine. What's the 11th one?
Language.
Language.
Yeah, actually the conversation went on very faster. Answers came like this. Last one came too much fast. Okay. Number 2, 12.
Customs, ma'am.
Yeah, language
Customs.
and customs. Correct. Very good. Fantastic. Now let me see. What did you write for 13?
Music.
Instrument, ma'am.
No. If you play an instrument, there are groups for music. So music. Did anyone write music group? It is wrong. Only music is correct because theater group they did not write as answer. No, that's why he gave you as an example. Only music is the answer.
Festival.
And yeah, wait. Next one is history. Fine. Now let me tell you. Yeah. Let me complete this answer here. Okay. See, look at the spelling of theater. It is given with all small letters, right? Now, when you're writing your music, as if you're using all the small letters in all the answers, you're going to write it as music in only small letters. Remember, if you're writing all capital letters, go for writing in all capital letters. If you're writing a name, first letter should be capital. Those are also to be taken into consideration from now onwards because immediately we'll write a test. Yeah, 14th is history, not history group. Next, number 15.
Library.
Town hall.
Town hall.
Public library.
Town hall is the first one and second one
Public
is
library.
public library. If it is only library, it is wrong. It is public library. Libraries are so many, but it is public library. Okay, so these are the answers. Now let me see faster. All corrects? No one all corrects? Ah, very good. Somebody's microphone is on. Mr. Krishna and Suman both are correct. Okay, one mistake, please. Oh, Saichand, Ron, Shalini. Where was the mistake, dear?
Library.
Library, okay. Public library you didn't write?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ron, well, that was your mistake? Bhuvaneshwari?
Ma'am, is 14th one local history or else only history?
You can even write local history.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. In the key, it was given as history, and in the brackets, local is added. So if the answer is given in bracket, if it is there or not there, also the answer can be considered. Okay. Yes. Next, let us go to the next one. Yeah. Look at the questions 21 to 30, but we have only 2 questions here. Write no more than 3 words or a number for each answer. Understanding the world oceans. The robotic float project, float is shaped like a. Scientists from Dash have worked on the project so far. So it's not considering all the questions, just 2 questions. We started with 2 questions and ending with 2 questions, children. What a coincidence. Come on, let us check.
Section 3. You will hear part of a seminar entitled Understanding the World's Oceans, given by a climate scientist. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25 on pages 5 and 6.
She gives you more time. But I can't go back. This is embedded inside because 5, 6 questions means they give you more time. 2 questions, few seconds, 10 seconds are sufficient. 30 seconds will be given, no, as I said. The 30 seconds gap is this.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Thanks to all of you for coming along today to hear about how the Robotic Float project is helping with ocean research. Well, first of all, we'll look at what a robotic float does and its use. So let's start with the device itself. It looks a bit like a cigar, and it's about 1.5 meters long. More importantly, it's full of equipment that's designed to collect data. So it can help us in building up a profile of different factors which work together within the world's oceans.
Sounds like a big project. Isn't it too big for one country to undertake?
That's quite true, but this project is a really good example of international cooperation. Over the last 5 years, scientists from 13 countries have been taking part in the project and launching floats in their area of ocean control. And next year, this number will rise to 14 when Indonesia joins the project.
That's impressive.
But let's move on to how floats work. The operational cycle goes like this. Each of the floats is dropped in the ocean from a boat at a set point.
Yeah, what's the answer for the first one?
Cigar, ma'am.
Correct.
Cigar.
Correct. Fantastic. Now, next one.
13 countries.
13 countries. Yes. What will be added actually after that?
Indonesia.
Indonesia to make it 14. Okay. Now, let us see. Use your common sense and tell me to which section does it belong to. Two people were talking about some technical issue. To which section does it belong to? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Third section.
Section C, not third section. Sorry, not section B. It is third section only. How the one thing which you can tell is, 21 to 30 belong to third section. 1 to 10 is first. 11 to 20 is second. 21 to 30 is this. Or else with other version, you can say, this conversation is about some technical academic issue. Okay, no need to be very much from the textbooks also. Something related to science, something related to a kind of area of knowledge. So this is said to be in 3. Okay, now if you look at this 11 to 16, right? Only one person spoke, 11 to 16. No, yeah, only one person spoke here. He was explaining about what are the things going on. And 11 to 16 is always a monologue, right? So 11 to 16 only spoke about, it's a general thing, and it also spoke about, monologue. Only one person spoke. Now come back here, 27 to 30. This is also something about a university, and 2 people spoke to each other. Okay, so it is third section, academic section. Now come back, just to verify whether the teacher, whether I have told you properly or not. Okay, now come back 11 to 16. See here, this is general conversation, and it's not conversation. One person spoke about what happened, what is the, importance of the National Arts Center. So this is one. Next, if you go to 27 to, back, I have to go back. And again, 1 to 8, this is just a form completion, right? And this contains only general information from some other person, and 2 people spoke over the phone. So this is from the first section. Next, this is 11 to 15. Only one person, one lady has explained about what is there in the library. So it's a monologue, and it is there as a general thing, and it happened from 11 to 15. Okay. Please mute your microphone. Somebody's microphone is on. Now 1 to 4, it spoke about, it is 2 persons spoke. One from the reception, one is a person who's a consultant, spoke about the hotels, and one is a man who wanted to book the hotels. So 2 people spoke to each other. It's a general conversation. So section 1. Okay. Lily, please mute your microphone. Yes. Okay. And coming to 21 to 25, what happened here? There was a study whether a person is going to take it or not. Okay, there was a start. It was about what academic issue. It was a discussion between two people, and one lady helped a man. So this is from section 3. Okay, so this is how we finished all yesterday, and whatever we have understood from the introduction is matching. So let us straight away jump into the test. I give you 30 seconds break, recall all your points. Okay, meanwhile I will just get the material to you before the screen, and get ready with a pen and paper. I recommend you to put the numbers 1 to 10, next 11 to 12, 11 to 20. Don't put them 1 to 40 in a full vertical line. 1 to 10, again next column 11 to 20, then 21 to 30, next 31 to 40. Come on, number, put the numbers so that you can answer them easily. Time waste will not be there. And you focus on capital letters. If you have decided to write capital letters, write in capital letters. If you have decided to write small letters, be careful. When you're writing names and all, the first letter should be capital. Okay, singulars, plurals, everything should be taken into consideration. You be sincere when I ask you the score also. Put the numbers, please. All of you put the numbers. One British Council test we'll be doing. I really appreciate the way that you people have done today and yesterday also. Similarly, I expect the same from you right now.
You will hear an
Friends, are you able to see something? Practice test?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Thank you. Are you ready with your numbers? At least 1 to 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a bank clerk called Jeanette and a man who is asking for information on investing money. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4.
Look at 1 to 4. Gap 30 seconds.
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this example will be played first.
Only for
This is
section 1.
Citibank. You're speaking with Jeanette. How may I help you today?
Hi. I'd like to ask a few questions about a term deposit.
Certainly. Do you currently have any investments with us?
The man is asking about term deposits. So term deposits has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
This is Citibank. You're speaking with Jeanette. How may I help you today?
Hi. I'd like to ask a few questions about a term deposit.
Certainly. Do you currently have any investments with us?
Yes, I do, but my term deposit is due to mature soon, and I've come to find out my options for renewing and extending it. I'm considering a range of different investments, to be honest, but I wanted to begin with the simplest option.
Okay, sir. Well, before we begin, I just need to verify your ID. Can I have your name, please?
David Marshall. That's M for mother, ARSHALL.
Thank you, David. Now, I just need to ask you a couple of security questions. What's your mobile phone number?
023-561055.
And your date of birth, please?
18th of February, 1968.
Right. So I've got your account information in front of me. You've currently got $18,000 on a term of 180 days. That's at a rate of 3.45% per year or per annum.
Okay, so what are my options? Can we start by looking at 1 and 2 year terms?
We can do that. Let's see. Right. If we put it on a 1-year term, we can offer you a yearly return of 3.65%. And for 2 years, it's 3.7%. Oh no, hang on. Sorry, we have a special deal on that term right now at 3.85%.
Okay. So what does that mean in dollars?
Just one moment and I'll bring it up. Okay, so the total interest earned would be $657 for 1 year, and I'm just bringing up the 2-year figure for you. A 2-year term at 3.85% interest, that's a total of $1,412 interest on maturity.
Right. That's about a $700 difference.
Yes, a bit more actually.
Okay. Oh, a friend of mine told me he gets his term deposit interest paid into his account every month. Do you have a monthly interest option?
Yes, actually. We do offer that on term deposits, but only on investments of $20,000 or more.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10.
No more than 2 words and or a number.
Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
Can I ask if you've considered a PIE as an alternative investment option?
A pie?
Yes, it stands for Personal Investment Entity. It's an investment trust. Your earnings tend to be higher than they are for a term deposit because 28% is the maximum tax on those earnings.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I've heard of those, but I've never really understood them. I thought they were called pies. They always sounded like something you eat. But I'd sure like to get a bigger slice of my investment pie.
Well, with a PIE, your investment return changes depending on how much tax you normally pay.
Oh, I see. According to my income bracket.
Yes, that's right. For example, on a 2-year plan, if you're earning in the range between $48,001 to $70,000 at 30% tax, there's a 3.75% effective rate on PIE earnings.
Okay. I'm actually on a 33% tax rate.
Well, that's an even better return. If you're earning between $70,001 and $120,000, the effective interest rate is higher too. So let's have a look for a 2-year investment. The rate actually goes up to 3.92%.
Wow. Okay. So a PIE may be the better option. Better than a term deposit, I mean. And can I do that with an $18,000 investment?
Yes, the minimum deposit for a PIE investment is $10,000.
Okay. And are there any hidden charges?
No fees at all for investing in a PIE.
Well, that's good news. Oh, wait a minute. What about interest payment options? Is it the same as the term deposits? You have to have a minimum deposit to be eligible for monthly payments?
Let me check the options here. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that there's actually more flexibility with PIEs than with term deposits. You can opt to have your interest paid every month, quarterly, 6 monthly, or yearly.
Okay. Well, that's given me something to think about.
Would you like to apply today?
No. I'll have to think about it, thanks.
Certainly. If you do decide to go ahead with it, applications are processed in 2 days, as long as you have a bank account with us, which you do. You can apply on our website, by phone, or pop into one of our branches.
Great. Thanks for your help.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Yeah, ready? Number 1. What's number 1?
Marshall.
David, Marshall.
Marshall.
Now turn to section 2.
1 second. I will stop that and come back. So David Marshall is spelling. And how did you write your Marshall as in Word?
Capital M.
and
Rest of the thing is
small
small.
letters.
Yes, capital M and last double L, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, number 2.
180 days.
180 days.
Yes, it is 180 days. Number 3, please verify the answers. Number 3.
3.7.
No.
3.85.
3.85. You missed it, dear. She again said there is a special consideration for him. So 3.85. Next, dash term deposits.
Monthly interest.
Very good. Not monthly, monthly interest term deposits. Okay, it's not monthly term deposits, monthly interest term deposits. Okay, now number 5. What's number 5?
Maximum.
PIE.
No, it's not pi. It is maximum tax rate. It's maximum. Next, investment returns depend upon?
Normal pay.
No.
Tax paying.
It starts with I. No, she mentioned it clearly. It starts with I. It contains 2 words. Did anyone write? Income bracket.
Income earning.
Income bracket. Bracket. She mentioned it very clearly. I heard it. Income bracket. Okay. Next, what is 7?
12,000. 1 lakh.
1 or 2,000. Sorry.
$120,000, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Not 1 or 2, dear. It is $120,000. 120, comma, 3 zeros.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
else if you even don't put a comma also, no problem. 0 should be 4.
1
Next.
lakh 20,000.
Next is, don't put 1,20,000. 1,20,000 in Indian figures.
Yes,
Okay.
I just wrote
True. But when you are very correct, but for some others I'm telling. She has mentioned that numerical numbers 1,20,000. Suppose in you thinking 1,20,000 as it is 1 comma 20 comma, you write it is wrong. Okay,
Yes,
according to English system only we have to write. Next one.
No, ma'am.
No is not the answer.
No, ma'am.
No fees.
No fees
No
is the
fees.
answer. No fees is the answer. I know that you write no. That's why no mark. Next one. Interest payment.
Quarterly.
Quarterly. Then application options.
By phone.
Branch.
Phone.
Any
Okay.
branch.
In the branch.
Ma'am, by phone.
Only phone. Phone. Yeah. By phone or phone. Not in the branch. By phone, in the branch or through the branch.
Ma'am, she said that you can also apply in any branch
I'll
nearby.
make you to listen to this conversation again. Then you will understand how you people have done this.
You will hear a number. The test is
I'll
in
make you to
4
listen from the
sections.
second part. First part is okay.
It is due to mature soon, and I've come to find out my options for renewing and extending it. I'm considering a range of different investments, to be honest, but I wanted to begin with the simplest option.
Okay, sir. Well, before we begin, I just need to verify your ID. Can I have your name, please?
David.
% per year or per annum. I'm just bringing up the 2-year figure for you. A 2-year term at 3.85% interest, that's a total of $1,412 interest on maturity.
Right. That's about a $700 difference.
Yes, a bit more actually.
Okay. Oh, a friend of mine told me he gets his term deposit interest paid into his account every month.
This is still of the first part.
Do you have a monthly interest option?
Yes, actually, we do offer that on term deposits, but only on investments of
That's why for the fourth one, it is monthly interest option.
$20,000 or more.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you
Be keen when you're listening and try to check your answers where you missed.
have some time to look at questions 5 to 10.
Questions are here.
Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
Can I ask if you've considered a PIE as an alternative investment option?
A pie?
Yes, it stands for Personal Investment Entity. It's an investment trust. Your earnings tend to be higher than they are for a term deposit because 28% is the maximum tax on those earnings.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I've heard of those, but I've never really understood them. I thought they were called pies. They always sounded like something you eat. But I'd sure like to get a bigger slice of my investment pie.
Well, with a PIE, your investment return changes depending on how much tax you normally pay.
Oh, I see. According to my income bracket.
Yes, that's right. For example, on a 2-year plan, if you're earning in the range between $48,001 to $70,000 at 30% tax, there's a 3.75% effective rate on PIE earnings.
Okay. I'm actually on a 33% tax rate.
Well, that's an even better return. If you're earning between $70,001 and $120,000, the effective interest rate is higher too. So let's have a look for a 2-year investment. The rate actually goes up to 3.92%.
Wow. Okay. So a PIE may be the better option. Better than a term deposit, I mean. And can I do that with an $18,000 investment?
Yes, the minimum deposit for a PIE investment is $10,000.
Okay. And are there any hidden charges?
No, no fees at all for investing in a PIE.
Well, that's good news. Oh, wait a minute. What about interest payment options? Is it the same as the term deposits? You have to have a minimum deposit to be eligible for monthly payments?
Let me check the options here. Well, you'll be pleased to hear that there's actually more flexibility with PIEs than with term deposits. You can opt to have your interest paid every month, quarterly, 6-monthly, or yearly.
Okay. Well, that's given me something to think about.
Would you like to apply today?
No. I'll have to think about it, thanks.
Certainly. If you do decide to go ahead with it, applications are processed in 2 days, as long as you have a bank account with us, which you do. You can apply on our website, by phone, or pop into one of our branches.
Great. Thanks for your help.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a
Okay. So I guess your income bracket, see, somebody who wrote how much tax you pay, that is more than, 4 or 5 words. That's why we cannot consider based on tax, because you have to write a big collection of words. So as a man said, it is income bracket. She said exactly yes. So it is income bracket. Now coming to the last one also, by phone is clearly mentioned. Okay. Now let us go to the second part. Get ready. Did you put your numbers 11 to 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. These are multiple choice. Yes.
Section 2. You will hear a woman introducing the Lunar Realm amusement park. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, everyone. We're very pleased to have you here at Lunar Realm for our September Celebration Day. We have many smaller celebrations throughout the year for different events, I think it was 5 at last count. But the September celebration is a special day to honor the park's development, from tiny beginnings to the huge enterprise it is today. It's our most significant annual event. Come into the visitor center now. Over here, you can see a picture of the original park when it was under construction. The land was donated to the city in 1955 by the then mayor, Matthew Hardacre. But the park itself wasn't developed until 1979, and you'll notice it wasn't very big at that time. Then there was a huge growth in the 1990s, and we're still growing today. In the beginning, there were only a few small rides in the park. There were lots of other attractions in those days, including an adventure playground for younger kids. The kids loved the petting zoo with its farm animals, and in fact, that's the only attraction to have survived until now. We've still kept 2 of the original rides as an exhibit, but they're not in working order anymore. We're now one of the biggest amusement parks in the country. We've got an amazing range of amusement rides here, 43 in total this year. I think we're most famous for our roller coasters, aren't we? I guess you'll all have heard about the Hurricane. That's our oldest and most famous one. Some of our visitors think it's not fast enough to be truly exciting. But we love it because it's the highest wooden roller coaster in the country. Then we have the Bobcat. That one's a bit gentler for our younger visitors. And for the truly adventurous, the Scream Machine hurls you upside down and backwards at huge speeds. It's too much for me. It's important to remember that all of our rides have age guidelines, and to help you, there's a color system. If the sign for a ride is yellow, it means it's suitable for all ages, although we do recommend that parents or older siblings go with very young children. Blue means that children younger than 14 can ride only if an adult accompanies them. And black, well, this means that you must be at least 110 centimeters tall to ride, regardless of age. We should say that no rides are really suitable for children younger than 18 months, but we do have a special section for parents with babies.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 16 to 20.
Not more than 2 words.
Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now I'll tell you about the many options for food around the park. You can get a range of different cuisines, Italian, Chinese, and so on. All of that's in the food court in the center of the park. But there are lots of other places as well. If you want hamburgers, sandwiches, that sort of thing, you can find food stands everywhere. We pride ourselves on the quality of our food, and all of our vendors use fresh, healthy ingredients from local farms. Don't forget the special events we've planned for the anniversary celebration. There are 2 main events today, and they're both free. The first is the afternoon parade. It kicks off at noon, so arrive a bit early if you want a good view. The best place to see it is along the main street. It's all organized by final year school students. You'll see some gymnastics and acrobatics, hear music from a marching band, and see some fantastic floats. The parade has become one of our feature events of the year. The second big event today is an evening concert, which takes place at our main amphitheater. The concert features singing and dancing, costumes and lights, and there's a different theme each year. This year, the theme is Hollywood, and it's all about classic style and old films. The concert starts at 7 p.m., but try to arrive by 6:45. Now, I know you're all eager to get out there and have fun, but before you go, I'm just going to tell you some information about safety and security. If anyone needs medical attention, we have help available. You can see on this map that next to the visitor center, which is where we are now, of course, can you see this red dot? Yes, so that is one of our 10 first aid centers. If you get hurt, all you need to do is ask a member of staff to direct you towards the nearest one. And kids, remember, if something happens, you get lost, and you can't find your parents, please tell someone who works at the park. Just look for someone dressed in the Lunar Realm colors, and they will assist you. And for anyone who has a problem of any sort, you can come and talk to a member of our security team at any one of the many guard stations. Those are the blue dots here on the map. Don't forget to take a copy of the map.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Akash, stop it. Please erase it,
Now
Akash.
turn to section 3.
Okay, now let us check the answers, and here we are. 11th one is?
B, ma'am.
What is B? The September celebration of the day is held on the park's important birthday.
C,
ma'am. C, ma'am. Okay, it is on to talk about the beginning to round. So tiny beginnings of the park. So it is about the history of the park, not B. Okay. Next, the park was first built in
19.
B, ma'am. B. Yes, C, B. Next, the park still uses
B,
Yeah. Any other answer?
C.
C, ma'am.
C, ma'am.
B is correct. Why?
B.
Because B is the only thing which is used till now. Even now, there are 2 early rides which are not in condition. Okay, so C is not the answer. B is the answer. Clearly mentioned. Next, the Hurricane roller coaster
A,
is
ma'am.
A,
Very good. Tall and made of wood. Huh. And now the rides with the height limit are coded
C,
C.
black, 110 centimeters. Good. Now moving on to the next 16. Hamburgers, sandwiches, etc. at
food stand.
food stands. This is easy, I guess. Next, special events on the
Main Street.
on the
Main Street.
Main Street. And what's the theme of the year?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, ma'am.
Hollywood. And what are those 10 centers in the park?
First aid.
First aid.
First aid centers. And right,
Fast food.
friends, if you
Guard station.
wait. When you write your Main Street, M capital, S capital, or else all small. Okay. Next one, first aid also all small, or else F and A capital. Okay. So check. Those are also important. Next one, our security team at the
Guard station.
guard station. Okay, now you have improved. In the first, actually, the section 1, because I told it was a test, so you were in a nervousness, but now you answered well. All corrects, raise a hand. Second section, I'm talking about second section. All corrects. Good. 3 hands rose. No. 5, 6, 7. Good. Put your hands down, please. Okay. I'll come back for the next version, and let us go to the next. Let us not waste the time. Now we have to go to the next part. So we are walking into the third one, academic. I'm going to begin. Oh, sorry. Number 3.
Section 3. You will hear a conversation between a peer tutor and an engineering student who needs help with a project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 24.
Hi, John. Thanks for seeing me today. I'm really struggling with my project. I have to come up with a design for a water treatment system, and I'm really not sure what I'm expected to do.
Well, as peer tutors, we've been taught to follow a process in these tutorials, okay? The first step is to look closely at the task instructions.
That sounds good. I'm also... well, we've been told to do some research, but I don't know where to start.
It's always hard to start with. We've got about 45 minutes today. That should give us some time to go over it. Have you done much research before?
No. This is my first project like this, and I'm really stressing out about it. I went to a seminar about research at the start of the year, but I've forgotten most of it.
Well, that's fine, because the next step in our tutorial will be to consider some common research strategies that you can use to get started. With engineering, a lot of the projects you do are practical, so you can think about how you can access other people's write-ups of similar projects.
Yes, that sounds useful. How do I find those?
Well, there's always the online databases, but you need to know what search terms to use. So, can you think of any useful terms?
Cameroon, I guess? And maybe grey water?
Yes, good. But those might not give you many hits. What about the type of research? I've always found it helpful to search for case studies, you know? There's probably a whole lot of those on systems set up for other villages in developing countries that you could look at. I've got a couple here actually. They're on different topics, but we can look at the structure and develop some useful ways to focus your research. Is there anything else you'd like to look at today?
I can't think of anything right now. That all sounds good.
Great. Then the next step is to come up with an action plan. How long have you got?
To finish the project? 4 weeks, I think. It's due on the 6th.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30.
No more than one word. See till 29, afterwards I'll show you 30.
Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
Right. Let's start with the project requirements then. You've got them there? Great. Let's see. Tell me what you understand about the task.
So we need to create a system for grey water treatment so that we can minimise the strain on the overloaded water supply in a village in Cameroon.
That's right.
But I don't get the details about the type of system and what it needs to be used for.
Okay. We'll come back to the type of system in a minute. It says here grey water. Have you learnt about grey water?
No, I missed the lecture.
Okay. So it's the water we use in our houses, but not in the toilet. The water that goes down the drains, not into sewage. It can be recycled because it's relatively clean. So what might the water treatment system try to do?
Treat it and direct it somewhere else?
Exactly. Why treat it?
'Cause... oh, right. I get it. 'Cause it's still going to have bacteria in it. That's why it needs to be treated.
That's right. And then when it's treated, what could it be used for?
Something else, like irrigation in gardens?
Yes, there are other practical uses too, inside the house.
For toilet systems? Oh, what about for laundry?
Yes, exactly. That's a good example.
Okay, that's pretty clear now. Thanks.
Great. Now, let's think about the type of research you might need to do.
I'll need to look at different types of water treatment systems, so I know the pros and cons of each one.
Good. Where would you look first?
The internet?
Yes, but be careful. Remember, you're likely to find a lot of biased websites. You know, manufacturers wanting to advertise their brands. It might be better to use the engineering library.
I'm not too confident about using the library, to be honest. It's so hard finding the right resources.
It's often about choosing the best search terms to put into the catalogue search field.
Yeah, I try to do that. Like water treatment?
That might be too broad.
Grey water treatment systems?
That's more like it. And you'll need to search for systems designed for residential, not commercial use. There's a big difference.
I usually end up borrowing a massive pile of books, then get home and find they're useless.
Try reading through the contents before you take them out. Flick through to relevant sections. Often it helps to read parts, not all the way through, but...
Just to get the main idea.
That's right. Oh, and I see this as an EWB project. Have you seen the website? It might have some exemplars of the winning designs from last year's competition.
No, I saw that and didn't know what EWB meant.
Engineering Without Borders is what it stands for.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Amma? Yeah?
30th question కనిపించట్లేదు మ్యామ్.
కనిపించలేదా? ఓకే. అంతే అమ్మా. Last 1 second I'll play then.
That is the end of section 3.
Try reading through the contents before you take them out. Flick through to relevant sections. Often it helps to read parts, not all the way through, but...
Just to get the main idea.
That's right. Oh, and I see this as an EWB project. Have you seen the website? It might have some exemplars of the winning designs from last year's competition.
No, I saw that and didn't know what EWB meant.
Engineering Without Borders is what it stands for.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Check your answers. See how difficult, a bit of difficulty level has increased to you in the third section. Now in the third section, last 10 questions, the 10 questions are like this, right?
Now turn to section 4.
It won't give you, okay, fine. The thing is, for the first questions, like 25, 26, 27, 3 questions, they asked you to go for no more than 1 word. But whereas from 28 to 30, you were asked to write no more than 2 words. So here only 1 word, here only, you can write 2 words, but not more than 2 words. See, instructions are also increased, okay? Now let us check the answers, and if we want it, we'll listen to the conversation again. This is the, no, above one is the page. Yeah, go over number 21. What's the answer?
Task instructions.
Task instructions. Superb. Next, think about research. Strategies, correct. And example, what is that from he has to study?
Case studies.
Very good, case studies. And last one, develop an
Action plan.
action plan. Good, very good. Moving on to the next, 25.
Supply.
Only 2 are answering.
Supply.
Okay, supply. Okay. Right. And grey water is a wastewater from household drains. And flushing toilets and doing laundry. Okay. Avoid websites where dash try their sell products.
Advertisers.
Manufacturers. Advertisers will not sell their products. Manufacturers will sell their products. Even you can use common sense. Next, grey water treatment systems or dash use? Residential use. Check examples from the dash last year. Competitions. Correct. Wow. My children are superb. All correct participants, raise a hand. 1, Shalini. No issues. Fantastic. I give you a big round of applause. One mistake. Shalini, put your hand down. Arey Shalini. Yeah. Unmute yourself, Shalini. One mistake, raise a hand. No issues. Here you will get the mistakes. Saichin, very good. Very good. Even to you also. Right. Now moving on to the next two mistakes. Bhuvaneshwari. That's good. Sanjay, Krishna, Karthik, Alekhya. Okay, Priyansha. So what about Mr. Ashok and Akash? Akash, what happened to you today?
Three mistakes, ma'am.
Three mistakes. Not a problem. Many tests will practice. Dilip, no, not Dilip. Indumati, how many mistakes you have got? Miss Indumati? How many mistakes? No problem. Tell us openly.
4, ma'am.
It's okay. Very good. At least you wrote the rest of them properly. Very well.
Okay,
Good. You have to, don't worry. Those who got, okay, they might be used to speak in English, or they might have listened to and understood the concepts much more than what you said. You need practice. That's it. You are not less than others. Don't think like that, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Happily agree to what you got. Then I am there to help you. Mr. Aslam has joined
Okay,
without a
ma'am.
mic. Good. Fine, let us stop and go for the next one. Fourth one. It's very challenging. Get ready with your numbers. No more than 2 words.
Section 4. You will hear a talk on the topic of the caveman diet. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
31 to 40. Oh. It's difficult to show you from 31 to 40. I'll stop after 36. Go through them. Okay, I'm just going down also to show you 37 to 40. 15 seconds I waited there, another 15 seconds I give you here. So after multiple choice, I shift the answer down. Now I'm going to begin. What happened?
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Hello everyone. Do you use the internet? If I asked you what is the single most common topic for advertisements on the net, I suspect ads for weight loss would win hands down. After all, dieting is one of our current obsessions. We've all heard of the Atkins diet, the macrobiotic plan, the South Beach diet, the raw food eating plan. All of these fad diets and many more promise that you will lose kilos and live a healthy life if you just follow their plan. Today we're going to discuss one of the most well-known Western diet trends, the paleo or caveman diet. Firstly, what is this diet and where did it come from? Proponents of this diet argue that we need to return to basics, that is, to what our forebears ate many years ago. They say that our bodies are not well suited to digest complex carbohydrates such as grains and legumes. We should be eating a hunter-gatherer diet, rich in lean meat, fish, nuts and berries, and without wheat, oats or other grains that came into our diet after the invention of agriculture. Sounds logical, doesn't it? But let's look a little closer. The first question to ask about the caveman diet is, what did our ancestors actually eat? One way to discover this is to study the diets of existing hunter-gatherer tribes. Although these groups do tend to regard meat as the best source of food, they often have difficulty in finding it. In Africa, for example, over 50% of the time, the Bushmen tribes come home empty-handed from their hunting expeditions, despite being very skillful with equipment such as bows and arrows. So what do they eat when they can't get meat? Well, the wives come to the fore then, foraging for and cooking local plants. Most of the groups eat a lot of plants. These range through a huge variety of local species, including nuts, plantains and yams, and evidence suggests that this was true of our ancient ancestors as well. Researchers suggest that these people would eat more meat if they could get it, but in fact only approximately a third of their calories comes from this protein and fat-rich source. Research shows that when these groups first come into contact with a Western diet, their health suffers. Once they're exposed to our diet of refined carbohydrates and sugars, they quickly develop our lifestyle-related diseases. However, that does not mean that the human digestive system is suited to digesting only a few sources of food, nor that it cannot change to accommodate different food sources. In fact, the evidence would suggest exactly the opposite. As a species, we are able to make significant modifications to our digestive systems according to what foods are available in our local environment. Examples abound, and our ability to digest lactose is a good one. Lactose is a sugar that is found in milk, and it is digested in the human gut by the enzyme lactase. In communities in Europe, the Middle East and Africa that traditionally herd cattle and drink cow's milk, this enzyme is present and people can digest milk products. However, in places such as China and Thailand, which do not have this style of farming, the enzyme is lacking, and most people have lactose intolerance. Another example is the ability to digest the sugars from starchy foods. Communities that eat a lot of these foods have saliva that breaks down starchy foods before they reach the gut, whereas other groups have more difficulty in getting nutrition from high-starch sources. In fact, if you look at indigenous cultures around the world, there is a huge variety of successful diets. The Inuit get nearly all of their energy from high-fat sources, such as seal meat. The Jains in India have religious beliefs which prohibit eating any living thing, including eggs, but which do, however, allow for the consumption of milk products. Other groups eat mostly fish or have an insect-based diet, depending on locally available sources of protein. So the idea that our caveman ancestors ate one homogeneous diet and that if we follow this we can all be healthy would seem to be an oversimplification. Diets are the result of complex cultural dietary practices. People can and will eat just about anything. So, if we can eat a variety of diets, is there anything actually wrong with following the caveman diet? Well, firstly, on a practical level, it's an expensive way to get your daily calories. Few of us can afford to satisfy all of our energy requirements on a diet which depends on lean wild meat and nut oils. A few carbohydrates provide a cheap, filling and substantial energy boost for most of us. Secondly, a diet which includes a large proportion of red meat may not be good for our long-term health if our bodies are adapted to a sedentary lifestyle and a plant-based diet. We simply get less exercise than our ancestors did, and so we are more prone to some illnesses than they were. Finally, if we all start to eat a wild meat-based diet, this will have negative implications for the environment because it's not a sustainable way to feed a lot of people.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Yeah. So even though talk is a large talk, everything, the questions which are given are in the order and the flow of the talk. So you needn't worry, but be keen. Don't worry that it's going to be difficult. And don't worry that answers are not coming faster or answers are coming too fast. So let us test ourselves now. There are many popular fad diet nowadays. They all promise good health if you're sick. Okay, whatever. 31 is, what's the answer?
Plan.
Yes, very
Plan.
good. Good. And what about 32? We developed agriculture. And dash and dash 33.
Bows and arrows.
You can even write bows and arrows or arrows and bows, not a problem. And they get only about a dash of energy from meat.
1/3.
Third or 1/3. Both are correct. Okay. Next, research evidence suggests that
C, ma'am.
no. Research says man can only adopt to certain diets. Okay, so it is this B.
Ma'am.
Sorry, it is C only.
C,
C. Correct. Next one is B actually. The people have the difficulty digesting because
C.
It's not C.
B.
It is B. In the past, they didn't have farm cows. It's B.
Ma'am,
C and D.
in like China and Thai,
Thai, ma'am.
answer is C, ma'am.
C, ma'am.
But this is a generalized. Okay, Thai people have difficulty digesting.
I mean,
We will listen. We will listen again and come back. Okay. Now next 37.
High fat.
High fat starchy foods. Yes. 38. 38.
Dietary
Dietary practices.
Or else you can even write practices or cultural dietary practices, whatever. Next 39.
Nut
oils.
Very good. Nut oils. And last one?
Environment.
It's not environment, Amma. It is environment.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Environment.
Okay. Right. So we had one doubt.
Section 4.
Digestive systems according to what foods are available in our local environment. Examples abound, and our ability to digest lactose is a good one. Lactose is a sugar that is found in milk, and it is digested in the human gut by the enzyme lactase. In communities in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa that traditionally herd cattle and drink cow's milk, this enzyme is present and people can digest milk products. However, in places such as China and Thailand, which do not have this style of farming, the enzyme is lacking, and most people have lactose intolerance.
Okay. My dear, okay, they didn't have this kind of farming and they have lactose intolerance. They cannot digest.
Yes, ma'am.
So the answer is
B,
B. Where B? B is the answer, not C. Right now only he said.
Yes,
okay. Now all corrects in section 4. Let me see. 1 second. Let me open. All corrects in last. Wow, Ron, fantastic, man. Take a bow, man. Okay, Shalini, Next. One mistake. One mistake is also great in this. Sanjana, fantastic. Shalini, Priyamsha, Krishna, very good, very good. Even to you also. Fantastic. Now moving on to two mistakes. Friends, two mistakes, please. Kartik, Murthy, Bhuvneshwari. Okay, Bhuvneshwari, you didn't eat properly and come to the class like me. Akash, not bad, man, Akash. Doing pretty good. Okay, Tarun, you didn't do anything today. Tarun, were you the same Tarun you are coming every day? Tarun? Okay, no one to answer. Fine, friends, we completed listening. I want somebody who got full on full. 40 on 40, please raise a hand. Mr. Moti, you didn't get 40 on 40. Put your hand down. 40 on 40, no problem. Oh, okay. Let me show you. Dang, 1 second. Huh? Give me something. 1 minute. To show you scores. Now let us start conversation. For participants, yeah. Full on full. You verify whether you're writing academic or general. The first one, orange, block is for academic, and the green one, which is there to your right, is general. Okay. So no one has got 9. In academic, it is 39 and 40. Okay, one mistake on the whole test, raise a hand. No problem. 2 mistakes in the whole test. Still not a problem. Tell only the fact, okay? No problem. 3 mistakes. Indumati madam, I asked, on the whole, out of 40, you got 37? Shalini, you got 37?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you, please give a big round of applause to Shalini. First test, 37. You got 8.5, Shalini.
Okay,
Super.
ma'am. Thank you.
Akash, very good. That's the kind of encouragement that you have to give. We will also give you the encouragement. Okay, 4 mistakes. Priyanshu, you also got 8.5. No, not 8.5. You got 8. Very good, Priyansh. 8 is not a small task. Fantastic. I want to see 9 tomorrow, my children. Right. Next, 5 mistakes. Sanjana, you were also at 8, Sanjana. Krishna, you are also at 8. Very good, very good. I'm proud of you. Next. So we are trying 9 tomorrow. Next is 6 mistakes. Very good, Bhuvaneshwari. You got 7.5. Very good. 7 mistakes. Akash. Wow, Ron, I have to see more improvement. But still, you're very good. 7 mistakes in the sense you got 7.5, all of you. Okay.
I missed the flow, ma'am.
You were thinking something wrong. Be present, be present. I said no. Full stomach, proper mind, meditation before the class. Okay. Right. Next. 7 mistakes were done. 8. Ron, Saichin, fantastic. 7.7 is a good score. Ron, put your hand down. Hello, Ron. Yeah. 27 to 29 in the sense. More than 10 mistakes, raise a hand. Exactly tell me the number of mistakes, Miss Indumati.
12, ma'am.
12 means you're lying at 28. So your score is 6.5.
Ma'am, how did you do the section like 11 to 20, 21 to 25, like that, ma'am?
On the whole, out of 40, you got 12 mistakes?
Not 12, ma'am. More than 12, ma'am.
How many? Tell me.
Ma'am, not count, ma'am.
Count 2 and tell me.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Karthik, how many mistakes, Karthik? Karthik?
7 mistakes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Karthik, 7. Very good. You raise the hand there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tarun, very good. Tarun, how many mistakes? Tarun, you put on the, you logged in into the class and you went somewhere or what? You're busy? Then be busy. Praveen, how many mistakes? I want everyone's participation, not the 10 students or 15 students who are there. Yes, Indumati, are you there?
Well, yes, sir, yes, sir. Ma'am, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Ma'am, 20, ma'am. Ma'am, 20. Ma'am, I'm not
20,
correct exactly to find now.
20 mistakes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are at 5.59 right now. Okay.
Ma'am,
What is that you are, what is it? Don't worry. I'm telling you, in Miss Indumati, how much you wanted to get. Are you going to go for a job or else you're going for a further education?
Ma'am, I'm going for a job purpose only, ma'am. I
Uh,
already attended the online classes. I come back to PG in 7 o'clock, ma'am. That time I suddenly to attend the 7 class, 7 to 8 I attended.
Okay.
Morning to evening I attended another class, ma'am. My technical class.
Okay. Improve yourself. You can easily go beyond 7. Okay. But
Okay.
provided you practice more because you are not used to speak in English that well. Okay. Now go on speaking. You can get it. Maybe rest of the friends who did not answer, they were hesitating. I really appreciate Indumati to just tell the fact. You have to agree the fact, my dear friends. If you agree, you will know your weakness. Then I can make you get rid of the weakness and make that as a strength of yours. Okay, right. Now we have 7 minutes more to our class. What is that you wanted? Can we have the vocabulary part done?
Ma'am.
Mama.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm Ronnie.
Huh.
Ma'am, third session, what is the accent, ma'am?
Third section, it was American accent.
Okay, ma'am.
I was also thinking about the same. There was data. The person used the word data, not data, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That was American pronunciation.
Okay, ma'am.
What do you want? Come on.
Vocabulary, ma'am.
Okay. Grammar or vocabulary, it's up to you. As per your wish. Give me 1 minute time. Okay. The way that I teach you the vocabulary right now, first of all, before I go to the vocabulary, my dear friends, did you read the words which I have sent you last week? 7 pages. Did anyone go through it? If you didn't, please start reading them. By this weekend, all of you complete that list because the lists are going to be more upon you. Alternate days, you will be receiving the list right now from today onwards. Today, I'll send this list, which I'll be teaching you right now. Okay, so I'm adopting one technique, which is called as mnemonic technique, which means, okay, teaching you the words or telling you the words as well as their meanings with a very funny method or else breakage of that word along with the meaning and remembering the word. See, normally when you are asked to write GRE or TOEFL, what happens is you should be, revising. For IELTS, let me say you have to have 2000 minimum vocabulary with you, not the easy words which you people are been with, but you have minimum 2000 words. You have 1500 to 2000 words. Even TOEFL also the same number. But if it is GRE, 5000 words. Okay, but as GMAT, similar, 5000 words. Now, reading, previously when these techniques were not into existence, my cousins as well as their cousins or whatever, the great old ancestors who wrote the exam of GRE, GMAT, they used to read the Oxford Dictionary as it is. Why should we do that? It's boring. Okay, so this is the method which we are actually. Tomorrow I won't make this delay. I will make everything on the taskbar. Today I didn't think of vocabulary. But still. I guess you guys are able to see some words: aberrant, abnegation, abscission, abstemious, abysmal. These are all the words which we have to know when we are writing these kind of exams. Till facade, you pronounce this facade as facade, or you can also pronounce this as facade. Facade. Okay. Now let us go with the words. I told you. Before I begin, don't look at the screen. If you just look at that, you will not listen to me. Just for fun, don't misunderstand me. Okay. There's a word called as abash. Listen to the word abash. You know, the meaning of the word is embarrass. Abash means embarrass. Means feel bit shy, blushy. Okay. When somebody, praises you or something else or talks about you too much, that is called as embarrass. Friends, you have two words with EMBRACE, okay, and embarrass is another word. EMBRACE is embrace, embarrass is another word. So don't misunderstand between those two words, okay. Embarrass is nothing but feeling bit shy. Embrace is nothing but go and, if you have seen your father after so many days, even right now at this age, I go and hug my father. Okay, if I have seen him coming from Australia from my sister, she stays in Canberra. Okay, so I feel very happy that my dad has come. Like a small child, I go run and, embrace him. Similarly, he does the same. Similarly, I do with my small child, my girl. Okay, so that is the difference. Now, what is the technique? I told you, remember, the word is abash. The meaning is embrace. Sorry, embarrass. Now, how to remember? You know, Abhi and Aishwarya. Abhishek Bachchan and Aishwarya. I don't know how many of you remember this love story, but in our days, there was, a track of love going on in between Salman Khan as well as Aishwarya Roy, when there was a movie called as Hum Dil De Chuke Sana. Okay, so many movies. Now, what happened on one good day, Big B has decided to make this marriage happen. And by that time, when Salman went to Abhishek's and, Aishwarya's marriage, he felt embarrassed to be in between all the people where both of them had a good relation. And even Our Lady also felt embarrassed. Okay, this is not to take their family into the question. You just read this word abash into this word dictionaries, into picture dictionaries, the same figure will be printed, right? So, abash means Abhi and Aishwarya, when they got married together, our Salman Khan felt very embarrassed. Can you ever, never, you see, now if I ask you this word abash after 10 years also, you will definitely remember Abhi and Aishwarya and Salman Khan and say, Siggu Paddadu, means embarrass. Okay, this is the technique, simple technique. Remember it in whichever way you can, and they are to be stamped in your mind. Okay, now one more. A coil. I'm not telling these words which are here, just to make you easy, make you understand easy. A coil, ACCOIL, a coil. Okay, a coil means to receive or reception. Okay, to receive people. When somebody comes to your house, you go and receive people. Okay. Now, okay, when you're reading 1-2 words, oh, Akal means receive, abash means embarrass, you will remember. But after having read 1,000 words in AA, what will you do? Oh, nonsense, what is this? You feel. So in order to reduce that, we are doing this technique, right? So Akal, which means to receive or reception. Reception means this to receive people. Reception is not the reception of Nischay. Okay, right. I guess you know what is Nischay, right? Nowadays, current affairs are going on very faster. Okay, that is not fun. Have fun right now. Now the thing is, yeah, Akal. Remember your Akka. All the languages will be used, can be used. Akka means your sister has applied oil to her face, and imagine the oil is just coming down from her forehead, and whole face is oily in the reception function, in the function. And in the same way, when the oil is dropping from her forehead, she went to receive all the guests to the function. How awkward it would be. So, Akka means Akka, oil, and reception. Means Akka went to the function to receive the people with the oil. Will you forget? No. Okay, next. The first word. Friends, getting the words? Now tell me, what is abash?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. I don't want the things and all meanings. I don't want the breakages. If I ask breakage, you should also tell me afterwards. Now, what is the next one? The word, second word. What's the second word?
A coil.
A coil. Another one, please tell me what's the meaning of a coil?
To receive or reception.
Reception. Okay, fine. Now look at this, aberrant. Okay, I told you will be using 2-3 languages in the same. How will you doing this? You'll be doing this. You will use the word and also the meaning and break it and make it fun so that you remember the word. Okay. Now aberrant, which means abnormal or deviant, right? So something which is away from normal thing, okay, is called as aberrant. See, actually here this is given by one of the internet things, but I would make you remember easier. Abba. Abba means father. Next, rent is the rent which we receive for a house or a shop or something else. Okay. See, somebody's father or your father had, or my father had an, natural instinct that he doesn't want to give the house for a normal rent. He will give the house for an abnormal rent. Okay. Abnormal means which is away from the normal.
Unusual.
Unusual. So aberrant means abba and rent. Abba, the rent is too much because my abba has given it for too much. Okay. So aberrant. Now move on to the next one. See here, what's the mnemonic technique given by the dictionary? Okay, ab means away, error means error plus and. Okay, focus on error and ands normally move together in a queue. This is something which, normally it will be boring. This technique I didn't like, so I made the technique. I made breaking. See, the dictionary gave it in another way. I told you another way. You can make it another way to remember. It's up to you. Okay, right. Now let us match to this abnegation. Okay, now remember, some words you cannot break, some words have basic meanings. Negate means negative, saying no, abnegation. Okay, so you remember this word like this. The actual meaning is renunciation, self sacrifice, or self abnegation. Now, ab means no. The meaning of ab is no. Negation means no. Okay. Now I don't want anything. I'll give away everything which I have, which is nothing but self-sacrifice. Okay. Ab nahi, I don't want anything right now. Please take it, which is nothing but self-sacrifice. Okay. Now the next one is abscission. Okay. Abscission is cutting off or separation. Okay, you know the meaning. If you know the meaning, it's well and good, but for someone who wanted to remember, abscission. So normally scission means it is pronouncing as scissor. Scission, scissor. Okay. So normally what you do using a scissor, you cut the things, you separate the things. Okay. So remember, abscission. Right now, cutting the things, what is that? Is cutting off. Meaning is cutting off or separation. Abscission is separation. Okay. Now tell me what is a coil, my dear friends?
To
Hello?
receive.
What is avash?
Embarrass.
What is aberrant? Abhorrent.
Abnormal.
Abnormal. What is abscission?
Separate.
Scission, scissor. Yes.
Cut off.
Word. Cut off, separate. Now, what is this? What is the other word which we left behind?
Abnegation.
Abnegate. Now. Okay, what is the answer for that?
Self-sacrifice.
Self-sacrifice. Correct. Am I audible to you properly? My internet connection is less.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Audible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now moving on to the next word, that is abstemious. Okay. See, the last passage which came is on dieting. So sparing in eating and dieting, that means those people who wanted to maintain the zero size six pack and all this spare, they eat less and they have consciousness, proper consciousness while they're eating. They eat temperate, very less. Okay. So in order to increase the abs stamina, remember, in order to increase the abs, now don't take ab as ab. Okay, so you take abs. Abs are, you know what are abs? Stamius. Stamius, you remember to be stamina. If you want to increase the stamina of your abs, what should you do? You should not eat too much. Like I eat ice cream every day. You have to eat like Mr. Surya or Mr. whatever, so and so, so and so. People who have been there who got six packs. Right? So abstemious. Abs and stamina. Now moving on to the next word, abysmal. Okay. Now, fine. Now, actually, abysmal is something. There was one movie in our childhood, in my childhood, where it is called as abyss. The actual meaning of abyss is something which is very deep, where you cannot get the base of it. Okay. So deep pit, which is bottomless. Normally, if you look into it, you feel like it doesn't have a bottom. Too much going inside and inside and inside. That is called as bottomless. Okay. See how funnily they have divided. Ab bees. Okay. Take this as 20. Ab bees in Hindi. Mal. Take it as a mile. Okay. So mal as a mile as well as bees as 20. Right. And 20-mile deep pit in ground looks like bottomless. So how can you see that 20-mile pit, ending of the 20-mile pit? Okay. So what is the actual word? Abysmal. Okay. Ab bees. Bees. Right now it is bees. Mal is a mile. So if you just look into the pit, it is bottom having 20 miles deeper. 20 miles deeper means too much. You can't even see. So that's why something which is bottomless is abysmal. Now tell me what is abscission?
Separate, ma'am.
Separate.
Separation.
What is the technique for aberrant?
Abhorrent.
What's the meaning?
Abnormal. Abnormal.
What is acoil?
Receive.
What is abstemious?
Stamina.
Absent stamina. What is it? No, it is abysmal. See, when you want to have, correct. When you want to have the abs, what kind of food you have to eat? Should you eat all the day?
No.
No, you have to eat, even though you eat all the day, it should be of minimum milligrams of quantity. So it should be sparing food. Abnegation?
Sacrifice.
Ab nahi. So self-sacrifice. I don't want it now. Abysmal?
Bottomless.
Bottomless. So shall we stop? It is 8:40. This is how, see, if we start vocabulary, you will sit with me for 3 hours or 4 hours. You won't feel that. You will be learning the words like this. And after completion, we will know that we have learned 50 words, 20 words, or 100 words at a time, if the speed goes on. And I will also introduce one-word substitutes, which are very important. Fine. But before that, I want a promise from you all. By this Monday, all of you complete the word list, which I have sent you earlier, which is very important. Those are basic words. Right? Thank you. Good night. The reading part which I gave you today, please do it as homework, and tomorrow as the first work of the day, we complete that reading and then jump into the listening. Both we'll do. Don't worry about the grammar part. When we are doing writing, parallelly we'll do that grammar part. Now, technicality of listening. If you catch hold on listening very well, you can score very well. So listening should not be disturbed. The reading should be practiced thoroughly for the whole month. So let us not waste the time. Vocabulary, I'll go with this in this week, and next week we go with grammar. Half class grammar every day and half class for writing, which will be sufficient. Thank you. Good night.